Imagine being accused of harassment on a movie set and then turning around and suing your accuser for $400 million. That's exactly what happened in one of the most explosive Hollywood scandals in recent memory. Do you think this is a genuine fight for justice, or just a desperate attempt to win a PR battle? The entertainment industry has long been a place where creative dreams and intense pressure collide. But few Hollywood conflicts have captured public attention like the legal battle between director Justin Baldoni and actors Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. What began as a highly anticipated film adaptation of a best-selling novel turned into a headline-dominating court drama involving accusations of harassment, retaliation, defamation, and a staggering $400 million lawsuit. In the eyes of many, the case is not just about one film, it's about power dynamics in Hollywood, the consequences of speaking out, and the messy reality of celebrity disputes. The controversy centers on the film It Ends With Us, a dramatic romance adapted from Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. The book's popularity guaranteed that the movie would be a major release, and the cast, including Blake Lively, quickly made it one of the most anticipated films of the year. Now, Justin Baldoni directed the film and was also heavily involved as a producer. Everything seemed to be moving smoothly until reports surfaced that Lively had filed a lawsuit accusing Baldoni of creating a hostile and unsafe work environment. The allegations were serious. She claimed she experienced harassment and that she was retaliated against when she voiced concerns. These claims turned what should have been a celebration into a bitter public feud. In December 2024, Blake Lively's lawsuit became public, and the entertainment world watched as the story unfolded. Lively's complaint detailed alleged misconduct and described a working environment she said was intolerable. She claimed that Baldoni and his production team did not respond appropriately when she raised issues, and that she was punished for speaking up. The lawsuit accused Baldoni of behavior that was not only unprofessional but also damaging to her well-being. While the specifics of such cases can be complex and often involve private conversations, the core issue was simple. Lively said she felt unsafe, and she believed she was retaliated against for expressing that concern. Baldoni's response was dramatic and unexpected. Rather than simply defending himself in court, he filed a massive countersuit in January 2025. The counterclaim was shocking not only for its scale $400 million, but also for the targets named in the lawsuit. Baldoni didn't just sue Lively, he also named her husband, Ryan Reynolds, along with her publicist and even the New York Times, claiming they were part of a coordinated campaign to destroy his reputation. The suit accused them of defamation, civil extortion, invasion of privacy, and other actions meant to damage his career. For many observers, the counter-lawsuit seemed less like a legal defense and more like a public retaliation, a move designed to shift the narrative and intimidate his critics. Baldoni's $400 million figure raised eyebrows from the start. Some analysts speculated that the number was not just symbolic but also strategic. In high-profile disputes, a large lawsuit can serve as a warning. It signals that the plaintiff is willing to pursue extreme legal action and that any settlement or defense could become financially devastating. Critics argued that the amount was intended to be punitive, potentially bankrupting Lively and Reynolds or forcing them into a settlement. Supporters of Baldoni, however, argued that the figure reflected the scale of reputational damage he believed he suffered, especially in an industry where image is everything. The legal battle quickly moved beyond the courtroom and into the public sphere. Fans, media outlets, and industry insiders became deeply invested, choosing sides based on their beliefs about the individuals involved and the broader issues at stake. Social media exploded with opinions, memes, and heated arguments. For many, the case became a test of values. Was Baldoni a victim of a smear campaign, or was Lively a brave woman speaking out against harassment? The intensity of the public reaction showed how much the modern audience cares about workplace safety, gender dynamics, and the treatment of employees in high-pressure industries. After the dismissal, the legal battle continued to simmer. Baldoni's options became more limited, and his public image suffered as the lawsuit was portrayed by many as a desperate attempt to regain control. Meanwhile, Lively's original lawsuit remained active. The case was expected to move forward, potentially reaching trial, where evidence, testimonies, and witness statements would be examined in detail. For Lively, the goal was to prove that the work environment was unsafe and that she faced retaliation. For Baldoni, the goal was to defend his reputation and counter the allegations that threatened his career. The dispute also sparked a broader conversation about power dynamics in Hollywood. Many observers pointed out that film sets are environments where a few people hold significant control over many others. Directors, producers, and studio executives can influence careers and reputations, and employees often fear retaliation if they speak out. In this context, Lively's case was seen as part of a larger movement in which actors and crew members are increasingly willing to challenge misconduct and demand accountability. Critics of Baldoni argued that his lawsuit was an attempt to intimidate and silence her, while his supporters argued that he was being unfairly targeted and publicly humiliated. Another notable aspect of the case was the involvement of Ryan Reynolds, one of Hollywood's most recognizable and influential figures. Naming Reynolds as a defendant raised the stakes significantly, as it implied that he played a role in the alleged campaign against Baldoni. Reynolds' legal team argued that the claims were baseless and that he had no involvement in any alleged wrongdoing. The decision to include him in the lawsuit was seen by many as a strategic move, designed to put pressure on Lively and her allies and to expand the scope of the conflict. Public reaction continued to be polarized. Some fans expressed sympathy for Lively, arguing that her decision to speak out required courage and that she deserved protection from retaliation. Others criticized her for what they saw as a public drama that could damage reputations without due process. On the other side, Baldoni's supporters argued that he was being unfairly attacked and that his countersuit was a legitimate attempt to defend himself. The case became less about the facts of the allegations and more about how public narratives are shaped, how reputations are built and destroyed, and how modern media culture can amplify conflicts. Ultimately, the case has become a cautionary tale about how quickly a high-profile project can turn into a public disaster. A film that was meant to be a major cinematic success instead became a symbol of conflict, power struggles, and legal warfare. The $400 million lawsuit, regardless of its dismissal, remains one of the most dramatic legal actions in recent Hollywood history. It highlighted how modern celebrity disputes can become courtroom battles, and how the stakes are not only financial but also personal and professional. As the original lawsuit continued, the outcome remained uncertain. A trial could potentially expose more details about the production, the working environment, and the interactions between the parties involved. It could also set a precedent for how harassment claims are handled in Hollywood, and how the industry responds when major stars accuse directors or producers of misconduct. For now, the case remains a powerful example of how complex and destructive legal battles can become when they involve high-profile figures and intense public scrutiny. $400 million war is more than just a celebrity scandal. It reflects deeper issues in the entertainment industry: the struggle for power, the fear of retaliation, the need for accountability, and the complicated relationship between public perception and private reality. Whether Baldoni's lawsuit was a desperate attempt to regain control or a legitimate fight for justice, the conflict has already reshaped the conversation about workplace conduct in Hollywood. And as the case continues, it remains a reminder that even the most glamorous projects can hide bitter conflicts behind the scenes. If you want more updates on this story, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, and comment below what do you think will happen next in this legal war.